I'm so glad you found your way here. Right now, as you settle in, your brain is preparing for a journey it takes every single night. A voyage into darkness where your sense of self will dissolve and reform in ways science is only beginning to understand. Tonight, you'll discover what truly happens to your awareness when sleep arrives. And by the end, you'll understand why losing consciousness each night might be the most profound experience you never remember. Welcome to Sleepy Science Facts. Now settle in. You're in your safe space, while your brain quietly prepares for its nightly transformation. Chemicals shifting, neurons slowing, awareness dimming toward that mysterious threshold between waking and sleep. Allow yourself this moment of peace. We'll journey through 100 psychology facts about consciousness during sleep. From the dissolving edge of wakefulness where thoughts become strange, to the deep waters where memory lives, to the theater of dreams where you become both author and audience. This thoughtful journey through consciousness builds bridges between searching minds. A gentle subscribe, like, or quiet share creates a pathway for more sleepy souls to discover this peaceful space. It brings us closer to protect this sanctuary for every tired mind who finds their way here. One peaceful night, one sleepy soul at a time. Your journey inspires ours. Let yourself settle completely here. Feel your jaw unclench, your breath deepen naturally. You can let these thoughts drift past without holding them. Sense that soothing heaviness enveloping you, like your consciousness slowly dimming its brightness. Thoughts dissolving into the peaceful fog of approaching sleep, safe and undisturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're floating where consciousness rests safely in gentle darkness, where awareness softens at the edges like watercolors bleeding into paper. Let your mind merge with infinite peace. And now we begin. Tonight, you will lose yourself, not in metaphor, but in measurable reality. As you drift towards sleep, the electrical signature of your waking mind, those fast beta waves humming between 13 and 30 cycles per second, will gradually slow into something calmer. This is alpha rhythm, the first signal that your grip on waking awareness is loosening. Scientists can watch this transformation on an electroencephalogram, seeing the moment your brain begins releasing its hold on the world. You cross this threshold every night, yet rarely notice. The dissolving has already begun. The transition from wakefulness to sleep is not a simple switch. Researchers now understand it as a gradual cascade, a controlled dismantling of conscious awareness that unfolds over minutes. Different regions of your brain do not fall asleep simultaneously. Instead, they drift off in sequence, like lights dimming in different rooms of a house. The thalamus, that relay station at the center of your brain, typically quiets before the cortex, sometimes by several minutes. This staggered shutdown explains why the borderland of sleep feels so strange. Parts of you already dreaming, while other parts remain dimly aware. You are neither fully here nor fully there. In the hypnagogic state, that twilight zone between wakefulness and sleep, your mind begins creating experiences that belong to neither world. Research suggests that up to 85% of people experience some form of hypnagogic phenomena. Seeing geometric patterns, faces of strangers, hearing voices call their name. These are not dreams. Not quite. They lack the narrative structure, the storyline that dreams typically follow. Instead, they are fragments, vivid and disconnected, arising as your brain transitions its mode of operation. The creative parts of your mind awaken even as the logical parts release their watch. Your thoughts change character as sleep approaches. Studies of sleep onset reveal that thinking becomes progressively more bizarre, more disconnected from reality, following what researchers call the coasting hypothesis. Early in the transition, thoughts remain relatively coherent but begin to lose their forward momentum. Then they start to drift, becoming less logical, more associative, following emotional currents rather than rational pathways. This loosening of cognitive constraints appears to stem from reduced activity in your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for executive function and reality monitoring. As that area powers down, imagination slips its leash. The hypnic jerk, that sudden twitch or falling sensation that sometimes brings you back to wakefulness, occurs in approximately 70% of people. Scientists believe it may represent a momentary conflict between sleep and waking systems in the brain. As your muscles relax and your sensory awareness dims, your brainstem may misinterpret these signals as evidence that you are falling. It triggers a protective response, a last grab for control before consciousness surrenders. Some researchers speculate this reflex evolved in our tree-dwelling ancestors, preventing them from falling from branches as they dozed. Your body still remembers dangers your conscious mind has long forgotten. Stage 1, sleep, known as N1, is the shallowest form of sleep, lasting typically just 5 to 10 minutes during your first descent. During this stage, your brainwaves shift from alpha to theta rhythm, oscillating between 4 and 7 cycles per second. Your awareness of the external world fades, but does not disappear entirely. You can still be easily awakened, and if roused during N1, you might insist you were never actually asleep. This stage represents consciousness in transition, present but retreating, aware but increasingly disconnected. It is the anteroom of sleep, where you wait briefly before descending further. During the transition to sleep, your muscles begin releasing their tension in a particular sequence. The small muscles of your face often relax first, followed by your jaw, then your shoulders and arms, and finally, your larger postural muscles. Researchers can track this progression through electromyography, watching as the electrical activity in your muscles gradually quiets towards silence. This relaxation is not merely a side effect of sleep, but an active process. Your brain deliberately disconnecting from your motor systems, preparing your body for the stillness that deeper sleep requires. Your body temperature begins dropping as sleep approaches, a process that actually helps trigger the sleep cascade. The hormone melatonin, released by your pineal gland as darkness falls, causes blood vessels in your extremities to dilate, releasing heat from your core. This temperature drop of approximately 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit signals to your brain that sleep time has arrived. Scientists have found that cooling the body, particularly the head, can accelerate sleep onset, while elevated body temperature makes falling asleep more difficult. Your consciousness dims in tandem with your temperature, both following the same ancient rhythm. In the moments before sleep claims you fully, your perception of time begins to distort. Studies have shown that people in the hypnagogic state consistently underestimate how long they have been lying in bed. 5 minutes feels like 1. This temporal compression appears related to reduced activity in brain regions that normally track the passage of time. As consciousness loosens its grip, so does your sense of duration. Time stretches and compresses according to rules that waking logic cannot follow. You are entering a realm where clocks hold no authority, and so consciousness does not simply switch off. It transforms. The journey from wakefulness to sleep is a gradual relinquishing, a soft unraveling of the threads that bind you to the waking world. Your brain waves slow, your thoughts drift, your muscles release, and somewhere in that gentle descent, the person you think of as you begins to dissolve into something deeper. This is not loss but transition. This is your mind preparing for work it can only do in darkness, in silence, in the absence of the waking self that normally commands your attention. Stage 2 sleep, known as N2, accounts for approximately 45 to 50% of your total sleep time. It is defined by the appearance of 2 distinctive brainwave patterns: sleep spindles and K complexes. Sleep spindles are brief bursts of activity, lasting 1 to 2 seconds, oscillating between 11 and 16 cycles per second. K complexes are large, slow waves that appear suddenly against the background rhythm. Together, these patterns represent your brain's sentinels, processing external sounds and deciding whether to wake you or allow sleep to continue. They are the guardians at the gate between you and the waking world. Sleep spindles appear to play a role in protecting your sleep from disruption. When a noise occurs in your environment, spindle activity often increases, as if your brain is generating a shield of rhythmic activity to prevent the sound from reaching conscious awareness. Research has shown that people who produce more spindles are less likely to be awakened by environmental sounds. These brief bursts of brain activity function like a noise-cancelling system, allowing you to remain asleep despite the ongoing sounds of the world around you. Your sleeping brain is not passive but actively defending its rest. Complexes, those large, slow waves that punctuate stage 2 sleep, were first identified in 1938 and have fascinated sleep researchers ever since. They often occur in response to external stimuli, a sound, a touch, but can also arise spontaneously. Scientists believe K complexes serve multiple functions. They help maintain sleep by suppressing cortical arousal after a stimulus. They may also contribute to memory consolidation by synchronizing activity across different brain regions. Each K complex represents a moment of decision. Your sleeping brain evaluating whether to remain in the depths or return to the surface. During stage 2 sleep, you become increasingly disconnected from the external world, but you are not entirely absent. Research has demonstrated that the sleeping brain continues to process meaningful information. In one study, participants trained to respond to their own name before sleep still showed brain activity when their name was spoken during stage 2, even though they did not wake. The sleeping brain maintains a remarkable vigilance, filtering incoming signals for relevance while allowing consciousness to rest. Part of you remains listening, even as most of you drifts away. Your sense of your body changes as sleep deepens. The boundaries that normally define where you end and the world begins become less distinct. This dissolution of body awareness appears related to reduced activity in the parietal cortex, a region that normally maintains your sense of spatial location and bodily self. As this area quiets, you may experience floating sensations, feelings of expansion or dissolution, or a strange sense of disconnection from your physical form. These experiences, often reported during the transition to deeper sleep, hint at how intimately consciousness is tied to our sense of embodiment. The transition from stage 2 to stage 3, sleep marks your descent into slow wave sleep, the deepest form of non-REM rest. Here, delta waves begin to dominate your brain activity. Slow and powerful oscillations moving between half a cycle and 4 cycles per second. These waves are not uniform across your brain, but rather travel in sweeping patterns, rolling across your cortex like waves across an ocean. In 2024, researchers confirmed that the precise timing and coordination of these waves plays a role in memory consolidation, helping transfer information from temporary to long-term storage. During slow wave sleep, your consciousness reaches its lowest ebb. If awakened from this stage, you would likely feel deeply confused, disoriented, experiencing what scientists call sleep inertia. This fog can last up to 30 minutes after waking, and during this period, cognitive performance is significantly impaired. The depth of slow wave sleep explains why it is so difficult to rouse someone from it, and why they seem so lost when finally awakened. In this stage, you are farther from waking consciousness than at any other point in the night. Your brain consumes less energy during slow wave sleep than during waking or REM sleep, dropping its metabolic rate by approximately 20 to 30%. This reduction allows for crucial maintenance processes. The glymphatic system, discovered only in 2012, becomes particularly active during this stage. This network of channels, formed by glial cells wrapping around blood vessels, pumps cerebrospinal fluid through your brain tissue, washing away metabolic waste products that accumulated during waking hours. Recent research in Cell confirmed that this cleansing process is driven by norepinephrine oscillations during NREM sleep, with synchronized blood volume changes, creating a pumping mechanism that facilitates waste clearance. The waste products cleared by the glymphatic system during deep sleep include beta amyloid, a protein implicated in Alzheimer's disease. Researchers found that even a single night of sleep deprivation leads to measurable increases in beta amyloid levels in the brain. Over years and decades, chronic, insufficient sleep may contribute to the accumulation of these proteins, potentially increasing dementia risk. Every night of proper sleep is an act of neural housekeeping, a cleaning that your brain can only perform when consciousness has retreated far enough to allow it. During slow wave sleep, growth hormone reaches its peak secretion. This hormone, essential for tissue repair and cell regeneration, is released primarily during the first few hours of sleep, when slow wave activity is most intense. Children and adolescents, who need more growth hormone for development, spend proportionally more time in slow wave sleep than adults. As we age, both growth hormone release and slow wave sleep decline in parallel, suggesting a deep connection between this deepest form of unconsciousness and the body's physical renewal. Your brain does not fall uniformly into slow wave sleep. Instead, different regions descend to different depths at different times. Research using high-density electroencephalography has revealed local variations in sleep depth across the cortex. Some areas may be in deep, slow-wave sleep, while adjacent regions remain in lighter stages. This local sleep phenomenon challenges the idea of sleep as a whole brain state and suggests that even during our deepest rest, the brain maintains a patchwork of consciousness and unconsciousness. Some islands of awareness, persisting even in the depths. Dreaming is not limited to REM sleep. Studies have found that approximately 30% of awakenings from slow-wave sleep yield dream reports, though these dreams tend to be shorter, less vivid, and more thought-like than REM dreams. They often resemble fragments of waking concerns, brief scenarios lacking the bizarre narrative leaps characteristic of REM dreaming. This finding suggests that some form of mental activity persists even in the deepest reaches of non-REM sleep. Consciousness may diminish, but rarely disappears entirely. The neurons in your brain do not simply rest during slow-wave sleep. Instead, they cycle between two states, the up state and the down state, approximately once per second. During the up state, neurons fire together in coordinated bursts. During the down state, they fall silent simultaneously. This oscillation, the source of the slow waves, visible on an EEG, appears essential for memory consolidation. During up states, memories encoded during the day are reactivated. During down states, synapses are refined, strengthening important connections and weakening irrelevant ones. The amount of slow-wave sleep you experience is influenced by how long you have been awake and how intensely you used your brain during waking hours. This phenomenon, called sleep homeostasis, ensures that periods of extended wakefulness are followed by deeper, more intense, slow-wave sleep. Learning new skills, particularly motor skills, increases slow-wave activity specifically in the brain regions involved in that learning. Your brain keeps a running tally of its need for deep rest and adjusts accordingly. These observations reveal that deep sleep is not simply an absence of consciousness, but a different mode of brain operation entirely. In these slow rhythms, in this coordinated silence and firing, your brain performs essential work that waking awareness would only interrupt. The dissolution of your sense of self during slow-wave sleep creates the conditions for neural maintenance, memory processing, and physical restoration. You do not merely lose consciousness. You trade it temporarily for something your brain requires. A darkness that is not empty, but full of purpose. Let's pause here and notice your body as you breathe out slowly to appreciate each tiny cell inside. Trillions of organisms working in silence. Heart beating, lungs breathing, brain thinking, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, vias, self-balancing. Even now, your consciousness is preparing for its nightly transformation. Allow it. Trust the process your brain has performed thousands of times before. Now we continue. Approximately 90 minutes after falling asleep, you enter REM sleep for the first time, and the nature of your consciousness transforms dramatically. Your brain activity, so slow and synchronized during deep sleep, suddenly becomes rapid and chaotic, resembling the patterns of wakefulness. Yet you are not awake. You are dreaming. This paradox, a brain as electrically active as during waking yet profoundly asleep, has fascinated scientists since REM sleep was discovered in 1953. During REM sleep, your voluntary muscles become paralyzed, a state called atonia. This paralysis, controlled by neural circuits in your brainstem, prevents you from acting out your dreams. Only your eyes, moving rapidly beneath closed lids, and the muscles controlling your breathing and heartbeat remain active. This protective mechanism allows your mind to conjure vivid physical experiences: running, flying, fighting, without your body responding to these imagined commands. The subjective experience of dreaming closely resembles waking perception. Dreams include visual imagery, sounds, physical sensations, emotions, and a sense of being present in a spatial environment. A 2024 review in the journal Neuron confirmed that the same brain regions active during waking perception become active during dreaming. The visual cortex processes dream images. The motor cortex simulates dream movements. The amygdala generates dream emotions. Your brain creates a complete world from within. Yet dreaming consciousness differs from waking consciousness in important ways. Logical reasoning is impaired. Critical thinking diminishes. You accept bizarre occurrences, impossible physics, shape-shifting characters, without question. This uncritical acceptance appears related to reduced activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, a region essential for executive function and rational evaluation. In dreams, you experience without properly evaluating what you experience. Memory also functions strangely during dreams. You can remember events from your waking life, incorporating them into dream narratives. Yet you typically cannot form new memories of the dream itself. This explains why dreams fade so rapidly upon waking. The hippocampus, essential for encoding new memories, shows altered activity patterns during REM sleep. It replays old memories but does not effectively stamp the dream experience itself into long-term storage. The content of dreams draws heavily from recent waking experiences, a phenomenon called day residue. Events from the previous 1 to 7 days frequently appear in dreams, though often in disguised or fragmented form. Studies have shown that recently learned tasks are often incorporated into dream imagery. If you learned a maze before sleep, you might dream of navigating corridors. The dreaming brain appears to be processing, reorganizing, integrating recent experiences, though it does this work behind a curtain of strange imagery. Emotions in dreams are real. Brain imaging studies confirm that the amygdala and other emotion processing regions show heightened activity during REM sleep. When you feel fear in a dream, your amygdala is genuinely firing. When you feel joy, the same reward circuits active during waking pleasure become engaged. The emotions you experience while dreaming, though triggered by imaginary scenarios, are as neurologically authentic as any emotion you experience while awake. Dreams appear to serve an emotional processing function. Research has found that REM sleep helps diminish the emotional charge attached to difficult memories. A bad memory retrieved after REM sleep tends to feel less distressing than the same memory retrieved after an equivalent period of wakefulness. The dreaming brain may revisit emotionally significant experiences and gradually strip away their reactive sting, allowing you to remember without being overwhelmed. The narrative structure of dreams often reflects ongoing concerns and unresolved conflicts. Theories of dream function suggest that dreams simulate threatening or challenging scenarios, allowing the dreamer to rehearse responses without real-world consequences. This threat simulation theory proposes that dreaming evolved as a kind of virtual reality training ground, preparing our ancestors for dangers they might face during waking hours. Not all dreams are threatening. Positive emotions appear frequently in dream reports, and dreams often fulfill wishes in ways reality cannot. You might dream of reuniting with someone you have lost, achieving goals that elude you in waking life, or experiencing adventures beyond physical possibility. Dreams can provide experiences of connection, accomplishment, and wonder that persist as emotional memories even after the dream's details fade. The dreaming brain shows remarkable creativity. The loosening of logical constraints that impairs critical thinking during dreams also frees associative thinking, allowing novel combinations of ideas and images. Many artists, scientists, and writers have reported solving problems or receiving creative inspiration through dreams. The discovery of the benzene ring structure, the melody of yesterday, and countless other innovations have been attributed to dream experiences. Time perception in dreams remains poorly understood. While some studies suggest that dream time roughly corresponds to real time, others report dramatic compression or expansion. Dreamers sometimes experience what feels like hours of dream narrative in mere minutes of REM sleep. The neural mechanisms underlying this temporal distortion remain an active area of research, suggesting that our sense of time is more constructed, more malleable, than waking experience suggests. REM. Sleep cycles grow longer as the night progresses. Your first REM period might last only 10 minutes, while later periods can extend to 45 minutes or more. This means that the majority of your dreaming occurs in the second half of the night. If you wake early, you sacrifice your longest and most vivid dreams. The architecture of sleep ensures that dreaming receives more time as the night deepens. Between REM periods, you cycle back through non-REM stages, creating a rhythm of approximately 90 minutes per cycle. Most people complete 4 to 6 cycles per night. The composition of each cycle changes across the night, with more slow-wave sleep early and more REM sleep later. This architecture appears carefully designed, prioritizing physical restoration early in sleep and cognitive emotional processing as morning approaches. The boundary between dreaming and waking is not always clean. Some people experience false awakenings, dreams of waking up that themselves turn out to be dreams. Others experience sleep paralysis, waking into a state where REM atonia persists, leaving them temporarily unable to move, while sometimes experiencing vivid hallucinations. These transitional phenomena reveal how consciousness stitches together waking and sleeping states. Sometimes imperfectly. You're still here with me, thoughts still flickering like candlelight. Just notice. Don't judge. Just notice where your mind is. We're exploring consciousness itself, the very thing doing the exploring right now. Strange, beautiful, and perfectly calm. Let's drift onward together. While you sleep, your brain replays the experiences of your day, using electrodes implanted in the brains of rodents. Researchers have recorded neurons firing in the same sequences during sleep as during earlier waking experiences, only compressed in time. This replay, occurring primarily during slow-wave sleep, appears essential for memory consolidation, transferring information from the hippocampus to the neocortex for long-term storage. Sleep spindles, those brief bursts of activity in stage 2 sleep, appear to coordinate the transfer of memories between brain regions. Research has shown that spindles often occur precisely when hippocampal ripples, another signature of memory replay, reach the cortex. This synchrony, the precise timing of ripples, spindles, and slow waves, facilitates the dialogue between memory systems that consolidation requires. A 2023 study demonstrated that artificially enhancing this synchrony through precisely timed brain stimulation improved memory consolidation in human participants. When stimulation aligned with the brain's natural slow-wave rhythms, memory for previously learned material improved. When timing was disrupted, benefits disappeared or even reversed. The careful choreography of sleep oscillations is not incidental but essential. Sleep also promotes insight and creative problem-solving. Studies have found that sleep, particularly REM sleep, enhances the ability to discover hidden patterns and make novel connections between ideas. Participants who sleep after encountering a problem are more likely to arrive at creative solutions than those who remain awake for an equivalent period. Sleep appears to loosen the rigid categories of waking thought, allowing new integrations to emerge. The brain makes decisions about which memories to strengthen during sleep. Not all experiences are preserved equally. Memories flagged as important, either through emotional significance or explicit instruction to remember, receive preferential processing during sleep. The sleeping brain acts as a curator, selecting which elements of daily experience merit long-term preservation. Sleep also promotes forgetting. The synaptic homeostasis hypothesis proposes that waking experience strengthens synapses throughout the brain, and sleep allows for controlled downscaling, weakening connections that do not merit preservation. This selective forgetting prevents the brain from becoming saturated with trivial information and creates space for new learning. The immune system shows altered activity during sleep. Certain immune cells increase their activity, while inflammatory processes that might interfere with brain function are suppressed. Sleep deprivation reliably impairs immune function, increasing susceptibility to infection. The rest your consciousness takes allows your body's defense systems to conduct maintenance and prepare for future challenges. Hormones follow sleep-dependent rhythms. Beyond growth hormone, sleep influences cortisol, insulin, leptin, ghrelin, and numerous other signaling molecules. Disrupted sleep disturbs these rhythms, with consequences for metabolism, appetite regulation, and stress response. The unconscious hours of night are filled with chemical communications essential for bodily coordination. Sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function in predictable patterns. Attention suffers first, followed by working memory and decision-making. After prolonged wakefulness, micro-sleeps begin, brief intrusions of sleep into waking consciousness, lasting only seconds. These involuntary lapses demonstrate that sleep is not optional but mandatory, a drive the brain will eventually satisfy regardless of conscious intention. Halfway through our journey, a pattern emerges. Sleep is not passive. It is not merely the absence of waking. It is an active state in which the brain performs essential functions that consciousness would only disrupt. Memory is consolidated. Waste is cleared. Emotions are processed. The body is restored. Your nightly dissolution of awareness is not a loss, but a transformation. A necessary surrender that makes waking life possible. Let each breath guide you to realize time is yours, a separate stream that only you are living. While billions of minds sleep and dream across the planet tonight, this second you're breathing, listening, is unique. Cherish the present moment, knowing that right now, your time is unique in the universe. And imagine, even when consciousness seems to dissolve, something remains. Awareness flickering in and out like distant starlight. And we continue drifting. Sleep paralysis affects approximately 30% of people at least once in their lives. During these episodes, the muscle atonia of REM sleep persists into waking consciousness, leaving the person aware but unable to move. Episodes typically last only seconds to minutes, but feel much longer. The experience can be unsettling, especially when accompanied by hallucinations. The hallucinations that sometimes accompany sleep paralysis follow recognizable patterns. People commonly report sensing a threatening presence in the room, feeling pressure on the chest, or experiencing difficulty breathing. These experiences likely explain many historical accounts of supernatural visitation. Demons, spirits, the old hag of folklore. Neuroscience now understands sleep paralysis as a dissociation between REM sleep systems. Motor paralysis and dream imagery persist while consciousness returns. The brain regions responsible for generating threat responses become active, producing the characteristic sense of danger. Understanding the mechanism does not necessarily reduce the fear, but it places the experience within natural rather than supernatural explanation. Lucid dreaming represents the opposite phenomenon, waking awareness within the dream state. During lucid dreams, people recognize that they are dreaming while the dream continues. A 2025 study in the Journal of Neuroscience confirmed that lucid dreaming represents a distinct state of consciousness, different from both normal REM sleep and wakefulness, with its own characteristic brain activity patterns. During lucid dreams, the prefrontal cortex, normally quiet during REM sleep, shows increased activity. This partial reawakening of executive function allows dreamers to recognize the dream as a dream and sometimes to exert control over dream content. Approximately 55% of people experience at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. While frequent lucid dreamers appear to have enhanced metacognitive abilities even during waking hours, researchers have established communication with lucid dreamers during sleep. By making prearranged eye movements, lucid dreamers can signal that they are aware within the dream. Scientists have used this technique to study dream consciousness directly, even sending simple messages into dreams through external stimuli that dreamers can perceive and respond to. False awakenings. Dreams of waking up sometimes occur in sequences. A person dreams of waking, begins their morning routine, then actually wakes to discover they never left their bed. Some people experience nested false awakenings, believing they have woken multiple times before truly achieving consciousness. These experiences blur the boundary between sleeping and waking in unsettling ways, Out-of-body experiences occur for some people during the transition between sleep and waking. The person perceives themselves viewing their body from an external perspective. Research suggests these experiences involve disruption of the brain's body mapping functions, particularly activity in the temporoparietal junction. A 2025 study captured some of these experiences using EEG for the first time. Night terrors differ from nightmares in important ways. They typically occur during slow-wave sleep rather than REM. The person appears awake but is not responsive, and usually has no memory of the episode upon waking. The screaming, thrashing, and apparent distress arise from a partial arousal state, the body reacting as if threatened while consciousness remains asleep. Sleepwalking, like night terrors, emerges from slow-wave sleep. The brain partially wakes, allowing complex motor behaviors while consciousness remains absent. Sleepwalkers can navigate their environment, perform routine tasks, even drive cars, all without any waking awareness. These dissociated states reveal that consciousness is not necessary for complex behavior. REM, sleep behavior disorder, represents a failure of the normal paralysis that accompanies dreaming. People with this condition act out their dreams, sometimes violently. It often precedes neurodegenerative diseases by years or decades, suggesting that the brain systems controlling REM atonia may be among the first to show damage. Narcolepsy involves inappropriate intrusions of sleep elements into waking life. People with narcolepsy may experience sudden muscle weakness triggered by emotion, called cataplexy, or fall directly into REM sleep from wakefulness. These symptoms represent a breakdown in the normally clear boundaries between conscious states. Even in healthy sleep, consciousness flickers in and out more than we realize. Research has demonstrated that sleeping people can respond to external stimuli in most sleep stages, not just light sleep. The brain maintains some connection to the external world throughout the night, though the threshold for response varies with sleep depth. People can selectively attend to meaningful sounds during sleep. Parents wake more readily to their baby's cry than to other sounds of similar volume. Sleepers rouse more quickly when their own name is spoken than when other names are called. Some vigilant part of consciousness remains on duty even in the depths of sleep. We now understand that consciousness during sleep exists on a spectrum. It is not simply present or absent, but waxes and wanes across the night. Research using serial awakenings has found that people report some form of mental content, whether dreams, thoughts, or vague imagery. After approximately 70 to 90% of awakenings from any sleep stage, the content of this mental activity varies with sleep stage. REM dreams are vivid, narrative, and bizarre. Stage 2 dreams are shorter and more thought-like. Slow-wave sleep dreams are fragmentary and often tied to recent concerns. Each stage of sleep brings its own characteristic form of consciousness. Dreams sometimes incorporate external stimuli in creative ways. A phone ringing might become a bell in a dream. A cold draft might transform into a dream of winter. The sleeping brain weaves environmental information into its ongoing narrative rather than waking to address it directly. Sleep learning, in the strict sense of acquiring new information while fully asleep, has proven largely unsuccessful in research. However, targeted memory reactivation, playing sounds associated with earlier learning during sleep, can enhance consolidation of previously learned material. Sleep can strengthen what you already know, but cannot effectively teach you something entirely new. Dreams sometimes anticipate problems before waking consciousness recognizes them. People have reported dreams of illness before symptoms appeared, dreams of danger before accidents occurred. While some of these reports likely reflect confirmation bias, others may represent the sleeping brain, processing subliminal information that waking attention missed. Recurring dreams often reflect unresolved concerns or repeated experiences. When the underlying issue is addressed, the dreams typically cease. This pattern supports the view that dreams serve an adaptive function, processing and integrating life experiences, returning again and again to material that resists integration. Nightmares increase during times of stress, trauma, and major life transitions. They appear to represent the brain's attempt to process threatening information, an attempt that sometimes overwhelms rather than resolves. Chronic nightmares can be treated through imagery rehearsal therapy, deliberately altering the dream's script while awake. The vividness of dreams declines with age. Older adults report fewer and less intense dreams than younger people. This change parallels declines in REM sleep duration and intensity. Whether the dreams themselves change or only the ability to recall them remains debated. Dreams are experienced as real while they occur. The brain regions that would normally distinguish imagination from perception are suppressed during REM sleep. Only upon waking do you recognize the dream as a dream. This capacity for complete immersion in internally generated experience reveals something profound about the constructed nature of all experience. The question of whether dreams have meaning remains open. Some researchers view them as meaningful communications from unconscious processes. Others see them as random neural noise that consciousness imposes pattern upon. Perhaps both perspectives capture something true about these nightly visitations. Each night you travel this path 4, 5, 6 times, cycling between depths and surfaces, between dreamless, dark, and vivid imagery. Your consciousness rises and falls like breathing, like tides, following rhythms that your waking mind never witnesses. You are both traveler and journey, both the one who dreams and the dream itself. You might be feeling tired now. That's perfectly fine. Breathe slowly. Feel the cycles. Your consciousness cycles through states each night, from alertness to drowsiness, from light sleep to deep, from dreamless to dreaming. All are circles, cycles, endless rhythms, like your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. A small cycle within the vast rhythm of sleep and waking that has carried you through every day of your life. You are part of that eternal movement. You don't need to hold on to anything. Let everything unfold in its perfect order, like consciousness cycling through its stages, unhurried, unresisting, simply existing. We're almost there now. The purpose of consciousness itself remains mysterious. Why should information processing feel like something? Sleep offers clues. Perhaps consciousness exists to integrate information across brain systems in ways that require the focused attention of waking. Sleep allows the components to work independently, without the overhead of unified experience. Sleep may have evolved long before consciousness as we know it. Even simple organisms show rest-activity cycles. The need for alternating states appears fundamental to biological systems. Consciousness arrived late and adapted to a rhythm already ancient. Every animal species studied sleeps or shows sleep-like states. Even fruit flies and roundworms have periods of quiescence that share features with mammalian sleep. The universality of sleep suggests it serves functions so essential that evolution cannot find alternative solutions. Some marine mammals and birds sleep with half their brain at a time. One hemisphere rests, while the other maintains wakefulness. This unihemispheric sleep allows continuous swimming or flying while still obtaining rest. It demonstrates that sleep can occur locally, even within a single brain. Human sleep shows traces of local patterns. Some brain regions enter sleep-like states during extended wakefulness, even while overall consciousness persists. These local sleep episodes may explain the cognitive errors that accumulate during sleep deprivation. The feeling of refreshment after good sleep involves multiple factors: physical restoration, memory consolidation, emotional processing, and waste clearance all contribute. No single function fully explains why sleep feels restorative. Perhaps its benefit lies precisely in this multiplicity. Sleep need varies among individuals, influenced by genetics, age, and circumstance. Most adults require 7 to 9 hours, but some thrive on less. Others need more. Knowing your own needs matters more than following general guidelines. The quality of sleep matters as much as quantity. Fragmented sleep, even if long, fails to provide full benefit. Continuous, architecturally normal sleep allows the brain to complete its cycles of restoration and processing. Modern life often conflicts with natural sleep patterns. Artificial light disrupts circadian rhythms. Screen use before bed suppresses melatonin. Work schedules ignore biological clocks. Reclaiming healthy sleep may require actively resisting these pressures. The transition back to waking is itself a process, not a moment. Consciousness returns gradually as sleep pressure dissipates and circadian alertness rises. The grogginess of early morning reflects a brain not yet fully reorganized for waking operation. Dreams sometimes linger into waking moments, their emotional tone coloring the early day. A frightening dream may leave residual anxiety. A pleasant dream may gift inexplicable contentment. Sleep and waking blend at their edges. Waking consciousness, too, fluctuates in ways we rarely notice. Attention wanders. Daydreams intrude. Microsleeps may occur without awareness. The boundary between conscious and unconscious is never as firm as it seems. Your brain creates entire worlds while you sleep. Every night, during REM sleep, your mind constructs vivid experiences from memory fragments, emotions, and abstract patterns. Characters appear, conversations unfold, landscapes emerge, all generated from within. These dream worlds feel real in the moment, complete with sights, sounds, and physical sensations. Yet they vanish upon waking, like morning mist. The self you experience during waking hours is itself a construction. Memory, narrative, bodily sensation, and ongoing perception weave together to create the sense of a continuous you. Sleep reveals this self as process rather than thing. So what happens to your consciousness when you sleep? It transforms. It simplifies. It releases its grip on external reality and turns inward. It cycles through states, each serving its purpose. It dreams, processes, consolidates, and clears. It does not disappear but changes its mode of being. The dissolution of self during sleep might terrify if we truly contemplated it. Every night, the person you experience yourself to be dissolves into darkness. Yet you trust this process implicitly, surrendering to it without fear. Sleep teaches that consciousness is not all or nothing. Awareness exists in degrees, in modes, in fluctuating patterns. The sharp distinction between conscious and unconscious may itself be an artifact of waking perspective. Dreams remind us that the brain is always creating experience. Waking perception is not simple reception of reality, but active construction. Sleep merely reveals this creative process more nakedly. Freed from the constraints of sensory input, the mystery remains. Despite decades of research, consciousness itself remains unexplained. We know ever more about its neural correlates, its fluctuations, its functions. We do not know why it exists at all, why anything should feel like something. Perhaps sleep is not the absence of consciousness, but its return home. Waking awareness, directed outward at the world, may be the departure. Sleep, directed inward, may be where consciousness naturally dwells when not called to action. The question may be wrong. Rather than asking where consciousness goes during sleep, perhaps we should ask what consciousness is doing when it takes this form. The answer involves memory, restoration, creativity, and integration. You will not remember reading these words in your dreams tonight, but something of this journey may linger, may color your thoughts, may integrate into your understanding. Sleep will process what waking attention has gathered. Each morning you wake renewed, not the same person who fell asleep, but continuous with them. Sleep transforms you night by night, in ways too gradual to notice, but essential to your becoming. Trust the darkness. Trust the dissolution. Trust the process your brain has performed since before you can remember. It knows how to carry you through the night and return you to morning. The answer was never about where consciousness goes. It was always about where it has always been, cycling through states, transforming and returning, dreaming and waking, in rhythms as old as life itself. Sleep is not the loss of awareness, but its deepest expression. Rest now. Your consciousness knows the way home. And so, our quiet journey through the landscapes of sleeping consciousness comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the dissolving edge of wakefulness, where thoughts become strange and muscles release their hold, to the deep waters where delta waves roll like slow ocean swells. We've witnessed dreams being born in the theater of REM, where your brain creates entire worlds from memory and imagination. From Hypnagogia's geometric visions to the cycling architecture of the night, we've glimpsed how consciousness is both more fragile and more resilient than we ever imagined, dissolving each night, yet returning each morning, transformed but continuous. Sleep reminds us that awareness is not a constant flame, but a flickering light, bright and focused during day, soft and scattered during night. Much of your mind's deepest work happens in silence, in darkness, in states you cannot witness or remember. The brain that dreams is the same brain that reasons. The consciousness that dissolves is the same that reforms. Without this nightly transformation, the waking self could not exist. By pausing to understand, We glimpse the extraordinary in the ordinary, the mystery in the familiar experience of falling asleep. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about consciousness itself. Yours, mine, everyone listening, all awareness everywhere, perhaps all connected in ways we don't yet understand. You are not alone in the universe of minds. Think about how consciousness changes form but never truly ends. How awareness rises and falls, dreams and wakes, in patterns as natural as breathing. Let your entire being dissolve into the ocean of consciousness, into dreamless rest, into the space before thought. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left, only peace. If this thoughtful exploration of consciousness made you relax tonight, a gentle like and subscribe helps other sleepless souls discover this peaceful space too. It only takes a moment, but it means the world to us. One quiet tap, one sleepy soul at a time. But there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, farther than most journeys take you, into the very nature of your own awareness. You can allow these thoughts of consciousness and sleep to fade now, like dreams upon waking, leaving only the gentle calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if gravity itself is cradling you toward rest. If sleep comes, let it carry you like a slow river current, smoothly, inevitably, into a realm where time and thought no longer matter. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow, consciousness will return, bright and focused, ready to meet another day. Dreams will come tonight, processing what this day has held. But now belongs to stillness. Rest well, sleepy scientist. And remember, your consciousness doesn't leave when you sleep. It simply comes home. Relax, listen, and drift into sleep. Good night.